Are you guys there?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to
Hello?
our 49th edition of From the Chair with Big Money Exchange. That's right. I actually was nice to you guys tonight and said it was 49, which means tomorrow night is our big 50. That's right. Tomorrow night is our big 50th episode with our very special guests. Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for this? The NWA United States Tag Team Champions of the World, the Country Gentlemen. That's right. They'll be joining us for our 50th episode tomorrow night. But tonight, we are honored to have Mr. JB Moonshine, local Northwest legend, um, somebody that the host has been following his entire career. So this should
Yes.
be a great interview.
Let me
So
see.
without further ado, let's take it away with the Mr. Gift of Gab, Mr. No Forehead tonight, just strictly the dude, Nathan Noss.
Thank you very much. And thank you, JB, for being on. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. You guys made me feel old though, but yeah, no problem.
So, who were some of your wrestling heroes growing up?
That's messed up because that shows my age because I'm an '80s kid, so mine was Hillbilly Jim, Junkyard Dodd, Roddy Piper. I mean, I like the locals, and I was always old school. I grew up old school. I mean, yeah, I'm getting there.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, I'm an 80s kid too. So,
Yeah,
That's about the time I started
that's
watching my
same here. I
wrestling
mean,
too, was in
I
the
like.
80s. So,
Well, most of it is like the '80s and the '90s was where it's at, and then I mean, some of the wrestlers still did. I mean, I still watch it here and there, but it was never like it was back in the '80s and the '90s.
no, you're right there. So, Tony,
I
you're
mean,
up.
if you haven't noticed,
Oh,
my
go
whole
ahead.
thing has always been like, I mean, I like the Hillbilly Jim and the Junkyard Dot. I mean, I like the old school, the people that went in and got into their character, into their gimmick.
Yeah, and I've noticed that a lot in your character too, which I love, by the way.
Thank you. I mean, it took me some time to really develop him, but I think really gotten people's notices lately.
I can see that.
Who doesn't love a fun drunk hillbilly? I mean,
well, that was going to lead into one of the questions we were going to ask, so we might as well just get out of the way now. Is there real moonshine in that jug?
there's always I always gotta live my image. I mean, I can't really sit there and not have what I say I have in there and not be what I mean, yeah. I mean, I am moonshine. I mean, I'm not as lit as I let people on when I get in the ring, but I do have a little bit of I mean, it does hurt to take those bumps. So
That is
Fair enough.
true.
you get hit by a chair and tell me you ain't gonna take a little sip of a little
Well, that's true. If I got hit by a chair, I definitely would be taking a sip of something.
Especially with some of the promotions he's involved with today, like
moonshine.
CPW.
Yeah.
Yes, right now it does. I mean, I've been with CPW since day one. I mean, I'm the CPW heavyweight champion. But like you guys say, I'm in the older areas, and I can't do the bumping on stages anymore. I need a ring. But I love CPW. I mean, I do what I gotta do there, but I'm hoping that we finally get to get to a better place. Like Like Strawberry Fest, June 17th. I'll be there for both shows. Heavyweight title in hand. After I get it back from Chris Marks, that is.
That's what I was just gonna.
Bastard.
I was gonna say that
That's what I
too.
was just gonna say. How can you call yourself the world champion if you don't even have your title?
Hey, I've never lost a title. Yes, they say, 9/10 and this and that, whatever, but he stole it from me. And what's even messed up is he walked out with my title and left his title behind, like his title was nothing. I
See,
mean, but
see, that's
yes,
just not right.
but I never lost. He hit me with weapons. He left me there. I mean, my brothers had to come and save me. I mean, he left me there, and I haven't seen him since. Since that day, I've been dealing with concussions. I've been doing this and doing that here. I mean, I've been wrestling a little bit here at BCW locally, but I haven't done any traveling since then. And I will see him. I did a shot here in Portland against him, and I did a shot at him on the 17th. He will get his.
Very nice. So I have to know: are you Team Yvonne or are you Team Jeff?
I am always been and always will be Team Yvonne.
Got you.
Jeff is like a little freaking pimple that you just want to pop, but he just keeps coming back.
Never heard of it described that way. That was pretty awesome.
Well, and we'll make sure on June 12th, if you don't have your title back by then, we'll make sure that we tell Mr. Marks that you want your title back. Because he'll be a guest on the show on June 12th.
Yeah, trust me. I mean, and I will probably be listening and waiting because I have some words for him also. Like I said, I mean, he has my title. He might want to hold it, say whatever, but no matter what, I am and will be the longest reigning CPW heavyweight champion. And he can have the title if he wants to polish it, take pictures, promos, selfies with it. If that's what he wants to do, is be my little mark. Then I'm all good for it. It just me a little bit more. I know that I have a little spot in his head. I'm like right there. Like he wants to be me, and that's why he stole my title. That's why.
All right, Nathan, fire away with your question.
So, can you tell us how you came up with the whole like once you take the shot of the moonshine, doing like the Hulk Hogan like shake when you know?
That that okay. The way I did that, like I said, I'm old school, and uh, when I first got into the business, I was doing whatever I had to do. I started like I was like a Roddy Piper. I started 20 years ago in a bar, wrestling on stage. Didn't even know what the hell I was doing, and then finally I got to ring, and I got some training, and I finally got into whatever. And I was doing like odd and in like little like gimmicks, like I was doing like a inmate in prison. I was doing a leprechaun. I was doing just random stuff, Reverend Redbeard or whatever. And one of the guys that trained me, he Kodiak. He was one of him, Lone Star, Tats. They helped train me and did me this, but because Tommy Celsius uh, and Kodiak, they decided I needed to do something that wasn't a leprechaun. There was better in there. And I reminded them of some type of hillbilly type thing and whatever. And this whole idea of JB Moonshine. I had a brother that was JD Moonshine, and the whole thing was Jim Beam and Jack Daniels. We were like this whole alcohol family. I mean, I brought my cousin Jameson. It was like this whole Then Lance Dean as a half brother. I mean, it was like it just started building up.
Hmm.
Or whatever. And the whole idea is that I like the fact that okay, if you saw Jimmy Hart, what you saw Jimmy Hart with? A megaphone. I
Mm-hmm.
mean,
Yep.
it was just like, and I got to the part that I'm a moonshiner, a moonshine judge. That's my megaphone.
Right.
And I like the Ultimate Warrior, the way he started shaping the ropes, the pulp. So I thought, why can't I use that as my desperation? I did that. I'm going for my moonshine. That's my power. That's my urn. That's the Undertaker. And I get to it, and then I halt up, and I'm like, boom, boom, and then my slop drop.
Yep.
And it was just more of the fact that I turned my moonshine gun into my megaphone, and now everybody in the world, I mean, when they see me heading for my moonshine gun, they know what's happening. They know that don't let him get that.
So
And
you and
now,
you and you and Nathan have a common friend. I
mhm,
know I know you were gonna go there, Nathan, but I beat you to it. He knows Mr. Kodiak as well.
yes, I
Cody's
do very
awesome guy.
well,
I've known him for
actually.
like that guy. You asked him about me, and I am one of his proudest students. I'm telling you, he will give you honors about me because I made it from bottom to where I'm at now, and
And I can tell you, if you could survive Kodiak, because that man didn't play, you're you're good. Because
oh yeah, that man, he was one tough teacher. I mean, he got me through there, and like I said, I mean, he to this day gives me a hug and says, "Hey, I'm proud of you, man." I mean, he's always, like I said, he's been a real big mentor. He's helped me. Lone Star, freaking like even Tex Thompson, like a lot of old people. I mean, I've had
Well,
uh, sorry, go ahead, Tony.
no. Go ahead, Mr. Host. Blah blah blah. Go ahead.
One of the things I'll never forget, and this will tell you about the heart of Kodiak. Although he'll probably kill me for saying this, but my van broke down at Hillsboro, right? Out at like Tito's at the flea market out there, and it was like 1 o'clock in the morning, and we had no way of getting home. And Kodiak had already gotten all the way back to his place. Well, he found out and drove 2 cars back to that
Sometimes I hear him
uh,
pretending to be introverted when he's alone in the bathroom.
back to Hillsboro to pick us up and bring us back home.
So, all right. So let's do the next question. So, who are your biggest rivals?
the biggest rivals of it. Well, I would have to say the biggest rival that I've ever had would have to be Zach Winters. No matter what state I'm in, what city I'm in, wherever I go, he's always there. We always wrestle. We always put on a hell of a show. I mean, we do what we do, but he would have to be one of my biggest rivals because, I mean, I've been rival. I swear I've known him probably like at least 15 years, and probably two of it's just facing him. I mean, I would say we've had really good matches and cage matches, bloody matches. I mean, our first war game match. I mean, if there's a thing about being blood brothers, me and him spelt so much blood with each other. That's what it is. I mean, it's been a bloodbath between me and him. And I guess for the second one, I don't know if I really had a second one. It would be. Hmm. I would guess actually one of the other ones would probably be Troy Prescott. Troy Prescott. We had a best of seven series and this and that. I mean, I had to lose my title to him after a while of him trying and trying and trying, but he finally did. But I'd have to say that I mean Troy Prescott would have to be would be my second rival that I've had.
Very cool. Can you give us your top 5 indie wrestlers?
Top five indie wrestlers. I wouldn't even put myself in there, but in indie wrestlers, I'd say a Dressler would be one. Wade Hess, he's a good one. Uh, I'd have this would be I would give it to Team High Five, Patrick and Draven. I would be right there. And then for my fifth one, I'd probably go with I'd go with Funny Bone.
Ooh,
Ooh, very good list.
very good list. All right, Nathan, I'll let you do this one. I know you want to, so I'll let you do this one.
Oh, yeah. We have another acquaintance in common. I also know Draven really well. I was at the school that he trained at. And believe me, he hasn't changed. The Draven you see now is the same Draven I saw then.
I wrestled Draven several times. We've wrestled in different places. Roseburg was one of the best ones, or whatever. But yeah, we wrestled several times, and as far as I know, I'm supposed to be wrestling him July 1st, and like I said, I'm always gonna be pleased to be able to wrestle a guy like that because he's always, he always ups my game. He brings the best out of me.
Well, if you want him to tell you a good story, ask him about the match of 1,000 nutshots.
Okay, I'll ask him about that.
So, just we can ask you because you're a friend. So, which Draven's better, the Draven with High Five or the Draven with Hellbound?
Ooh, good question.
I would say that I've always had more. I've always been more of the high five type of guy, But of course, I'm also a moonshiner, so I lean back more of the whole kick back and relax, and when I wrestle him as high five, he's more chill. But when I wrestle him as hellbound, he's a little bit more violent.
Well, speaking of Hellbound, what was it like teaming up with Petra?
Petra, man, that guy. We know that. I remember when he first started. I even helped train him on some moves and how to help and get him into where he needs to be. So but to wrestle and stuff, man, yeah, he's tough. He's tough and he's big, and yeah, he's like a bulldozer. He gets on me in. I beat him, he beats me, but yeah.
All right. Well, in your opinion, who's doing the better job as the promoter right now? Tony Khan, Vince McMahon, Court Bauer, or NWA guy?
Billy Corgan.
Thank you.
But slash appendage, yeah. I don't know. Right now, I watch a lot, but I'm more of the whole Vince McMahon and AEW, so I'm like a little bit in between both.
I can understand that. I'm kind of the same way.
They both kind of have their ups and downs. But me as a guy that does it and wrestles and whatever, I'm also like the scout. I also like to see, hey, maybe I can do that and make it look better. You never know.
So, if you could have your dream opponent from any of those like 4 promotions and maybe even throw in like Japan, who would it be and why?
Then like ever type promotion or
Yeah, like if you could have like if a booker said in any of those 4 promotions said pick your opponent and I'll make it happen, who would it be and why?
I don't know. That's tough. 'Cause I have a lot. But I've always been the type of fighter like go back a little bit in time or whatever. I've always been the one I wouldn't mind seeing about maybe wrestling Hillbilly Jim or Ricky Steamboat or
Ooh, nice.
I'm more of a guy that I would like to take on like Dr. Dodd Harley Race. I mean I would want to take on one of the guys that made it happen.
Ooh. You and Hillbilly or you and Junkyard Dog in a dog collar match would have been awesome.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, something like that. I mean, straight Moonshine judge it all.
Wow.
I mean, I was very pleased to be able to work with Roddy Piper for a few times before he passed. So I mean,
Yeah, that had to have been awesome.
it was. I mean, cause like I said, I was an '80s kid. I watched him, wrestle. I was the one. I watched it when they did the whole, the freaking cartoon series that they had, and rock and roll wrestling and stuff. I mean, I'm old.
I thought I was one of the only people that remembered that. So thank you. There's somebody else.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not old. I mean, I might never watch that stuff. I mean,
So
Okay, so what's the best advice your trainer has given you?
what was that?
What's the best advice your trainer has given you?
It's the same thing that I tell everybody, my rookies, anybody that I ever worked in the ring with. That some people don't take it, some people do, but the best thing I've ever done and listened is the thing is to keep your ears open and your mouth shut.
that's good advice.
And a lot of people, a lot of people want to sit there and all this and blah, 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 blah. Nobody cares what you say. Just listen. Just listen to and just keep your ears open. I mean, if you really have a question and this and that, whatever. But yeah, that's just keep your ears open, your mouth shut. Just do what you're told, and everything's usually pretty good. But of course, like I said, I mean, I've been doing this for 20 years. Things are different nowadays.
Yeah. So what type of matches do you prefer? Tag team or singles wrestling?
When I was younger, singles was fine, but now that I'm older, tag teams, I have fun with tag team wrestling. Me and Lance do pretty well, or whatever, and we have to travel from state to state and team up or whatever. But and so then being in our 40s and stuff like that, trust me, tag team is not so bad. but but single wrestling ain't too bad. This Saturday I got the Rat King in the match at BCW, and to be a singles match after a while. Cause I've done tag teams for the last few months, so this.
Ooh, that's gonna be a nasty match.
It's gonna be fun because I mean everybody loves the Rat King, but everybody also loves the Drunken Hillbilly, so it's gonna be a little.
Yeah, that was another great interview we had with D-Rat King, but
Yes.
learned a lot.
Yes, Billy. I've known it. I've known him for a while, and yes, he does know what he's talking about, and it's gonna be an interesting, and I mean, me and Billy actually, I mean, we had triple threat tag team match a few months ago or so, but we haven't had a singles match in over a year, and so this is gonna be our first singles match against each other, and this time he's the champion.
That tag match, was that with the BBC and the Moonshiners, and then
Yeah,
yep,
and
okay,
and
that's
and
the one I.
and, and we won, and we by pinning Draven that night.
Yeah, I remember seeing that video. You guys all took a shot out of the moonshine jug afterwards.
Yep. Always, I mean, just because we have to fight and wrestle in the ring doesn't mean we can't still have a good time outside the
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that.
ring. I mean, I'll touch you in the face and then I'll see you a drink later.
That's a fair answer.
Fair answer. Oh, all right. We know he's old school, so this should be a fun answer too. Let's have your top 5 referees.
Top 5 referees. I already know. I've always loved. I always liked the little Ric Flair guy.
Charles Robinson.
Yeah, that guy. And then Nick Patrick. He was, does it count as like any referee? Like, tend to be like special guest referees or?
Oh yeah,
Anybody
any referee.
Because I mean, I liked when Mike Tyson, helped when Stone Cold beat Shawn Michaels. That was and he was a referee. Took on, had to sleep, So that was good. And then Mick Foley, I say he is a referee. And oh, when Ron Simmons is a surprise referee. Yeah.
Yep. Well, you gotta love Mick Foley, who just like spray painted on the stripes onto his shirt. So
Yes, it was great, but he was definitely a referee.
So, can you give us your top 5 female wrestlers of all time?
Top 5. God, there's so many of them.
I know, right?
I have to say, Trish Stratus. I always liked Trish Stratus. Lita was good, but then damn. But then I definitely like freaking Kaden Carter and freaking her partner or whatever. Those two are pretty, they're pretty good. And then I'd have to God, there's so many. How about all of them on the left side of this menu? I'd have to say, Bianca Belair. I'd say Bianca Belair. She's been really doing her thing lately.
I would have to agree with that.
I don't know about Mommy. She's I've always thought Rio was cool, and then now I don't know so much.
I don't know. She kind of scares me at times. So.
Yeah. I mean, when she wears the pants in a relationship, it's kind of.
That is true.
Yeah.
I mean, it's messed up when I feel like Dom is hiking up his skirt.
I can't argue that point either.
No, you can't. So Nathan's favorite snack is anything with peanut butter. What is your favorite snack or cookie?
It kind of depends on what substance I'm on at the time.
That is the best answer I've. Touche.
Where's Big Money when we need him?
My bad, sorry.
No, you're good. That was a great answer.
Wasn't first.
Oh,
But I guess if I was ever snapped, I mean, I've always been more of like, a popsicle type guy, but I think I made the fun.
yeah, I think you broke us on that.
Yeah, I throw those oddballs out there sometimes.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. I do the same thing.
Okay, Nathan, follow that one. I dare you.
I don't know if I can. What's the craziest match you've ever been in?
Crazy match. That one I would actually have to say this is a unique match that me and Lance was in or whatever, and we were going up against at the Freight Show at BCW, and this was like I can't remember what we even called it, but it was like some type of unsanctioned match, and the whole idea was that the ring was wrapped around with in a cage. And weapons all over the place. I rode down the aisle on a toilet, literally. Or whatever, and so like that, and Lance pushing me down toilet and all, but we had this whole match against them, and the whole idea was to get into the ring and pin our opponent. And so it was like a reverse cage match. Instead of getting out of the cage, we had to get into the cage.
Wow, very intriguing.
Yeah,
Okay.
and there was weapons all around. I got pushed down the aisle by my brother Lance on a toilet. Everything. I mean, there's bowling balls. It was massive, and we ended up winning, or whatever, blood and everything. And so by trapping one person in the ring with two of us.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm a sarcastic person. I have to say this. Now, I've heard of trying to flush somebody's career, but that's a little ridiculous.
uh, well, everybody's all thinking about, that I'm like this hillbilly. I'm like the king of the hillbilly because I'm like the only hillbilly that is lasted because I've had so many run in and out of my whole family. So,
Right.
so I figured, why not just be pushed down on a throne? So that was my throne.
Well, I did ask what the craziest was, and again, that's the first. Never heard anybody getting wheeled out on a toilet.
After 20 years of being in this business and trying to get to where I'm at, I mean, yeah, I've done just about everything. I mean, I wrestled in a dress, I wrestled in makeup. I've done just, profit matches, cage matches, you name it, I've done it.
Wow.
I even had the best of 7 series match against Troy Prescott, where he challenged me to go a whole week of being sober, and then I had to wrestle him that night or that week sober, and stuff, and nothing but a suit.
Oh. And I bet you that was the hardest thing character-wise you ever had to do.
It was. 'Cause I mean, I went out there shaking hands and being all like, like that was like looking for votes for being president.
I
I
was gonna
mean,
say you were the politician.
I mean, instead of drinking moonshine, I came out with a cup of coffee. Tie. I mean, literally, and then I went in the ring and out wrestled him.
Well, that backfired on him, didn't it?
Yeah. But then afterwards, I ripped the suit off and got drunk. But still,
Hey, the match was over.
it was. But yeah, I have to say, yeah, I mean, I've had some, like I said, I've had some craziest matches. I've even had the very first ever Poison Ivy match. They wrapped the ropes around the ring ropes with Poison Ivy and freaking
Oh,
yeah, it was not fun,
oh
but hey.
no, I wouldn't expect so.
Wow. Okay, well, I'll try to make a more professional question.
A poison ivy match. I'm sorry, I'm
Poison
still trying to
ivy,
wrap my head around.
yeah.
Like I said, I started wrestling from wrestling in a bar into like a parking lot into like trying to get it into stages, and made my way up to where I'm at now. So it's like I said, I mean there ain't really nothing that surprises me anymore.
All right. Well, seeing as how our co-host Big Money isn't here, I guess I will ask the question. What are your thoughts on death matches?
Okay, hardcore matches. Okay, I'm getting to the point of being the part where I don't like do them anymore. But hardcore matches, damn. Death matches, not. I don't know. I'm just not so much a fan. I mean, I just don't want to be somebody stabbing screws through my head. I don't like light tubes. Light tubes they splinter. They're unpredictable. They mess you up. And yeah, so I mean, death matches I'm not too really fun of because I mean, I want to watch eventually. But I mean, I can handle hardcore, man. I'm not saying that I'm a wuss or anything like that. I am a drunken hillbilly. I mean, I put in tats, I put in barbed wire and fire. I've been hit in the face with fire. Been through flaming tables. I've done, you know, but death matches, yeah. I just, yeah. I know. After the adrenaline runs down, then it's gonna suck.
Have you ever had the chance to wrestle outside the United States?
No, not. I have not. I've been wanting to. I've got chances to go wrestle in Canada, but I don't have a passport yet, and so I'm working on that. And there's a few
Not
other
yet.
places, but right now I've only wrestled in I've wrestled in multiple states in the United, California, Idaho, Spokane. I mean different parts of Washington and stuff, and yeah, I think it's Italy, yeah. So yeah, stuff like that, but and like Nevada once or whatever, but but mostly around Portland or mostly around the Oregon and Washington area.
Gotcha. Tony, you're up.
Yeah, hold on just a second. Go ahead and ask another one, Nathan. I gotta fix something real quick.
He's still thinking about the last joke. My bad.
No, you're good. Do you think though that any of the major promotions would ever do like a women's Iron Man match like they did with Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels?
Um, they haven't done that yet. I thought they did that already.
Well, they did a 30-minute one,
Oh
but
yeah,
they
but
have
never 1 hour one. A true
yeah.
Iron Man match. I don't know, but I mean, if they did, I would think it would be either like Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch, or Beyonce Blair, or something like that. Maybe with Asuka. Either one of those, I mean, would be great in one of those.
Ooh, very good choices.
But and so, I mean, I don't know if they would, but I just see any of them be able to handle an hour.
Absolutely. Um. So if you could, I'm gonna throw a new one in, Tony. If
Go
you
ahead.
could create one title, what would it be, and who would you have hold it?
If I could create a title, what I mean, what was the question?
If you could create a title for a promotion, what would the title be, and who would you have hold it?
Hmm. I'm not really sure. I've always admired thinking about how like Stone Cold had the skull or The Rock had the bull and this and that. I always thought it'd be kind of cool to have an odd shaped plate of like a big giant moonshine jug like right in the middle or
That would
something.
be really cool.
Maybe the side plates would be like 200 proof or something for the etches or something like that. I've always thought like something like that would be like it'd be like the drunken intercontinental title or some shit, some crap like that, or I don't know. But I mean, I don't know who I'd have hold it, but I mean, uh, I just me. but But I'm not really, yeah, I'm not really sure exactly, what But I've always thought, it'd be unique to have like a Moonshine Judd type title. Like how like the Ted DiBiase came out with the $1 million title, and
Yeah,
but mine would be instead of like dollar signs, it'd be just Moonshine Judds or.
that would be really cool. And then, like, you could have like side plates up and down each side of the belt with like the faces of the people that you beat, like during your title reign, with like little X's down the.
Yeah. Every time you just stamp an X on the side.
Yeah. Um. Can you give us your top 5 tag teams of all time?
See, how many tattoos have I been in? Oh, I mean, not me. Yeah. See, um, tag teams. What ones I would say at it? I'd say I've always liked the Mighty Jannetty, Shawn Michaels thing back in the day with the Rogers,
Yep.
and like the Midnight Express. Um, and then like if you like Portland wrestling type thing, I've always liked the Southern Rockers.
Yep.
And then like I said, I'm old school, so I'd be like the Von Erichs and the Roadrunners type thing. I mean,
Gotcha.
I've always old school. I like all the old people.
Nothing wrong with that.
Okay,
So
Nate,
you
one
back?
more. One more.
Okay. Um. Who are some of the people on the indie circuit that people might not know about but should pay attention to?
Oh, one of those questions. It's basically a question of like, hey, you're an old guy that's been doing this for a while. Who would
Well, I mean, if that's how you want to take it, I was just
Yeah, you've been doing this a while. Who would you tell people to look out for? Because you're almost out of this day. uh,
Yeah.
um,
That's Nathan for you. Always asking the hard questions that take off our guests. You know, that's Nathan for you.
It seems like they're being pushed out the door a lot faster than I want to.
Oh no, I ain't pushing you anywhere.
No, see, then there's I would have to say, Tame Jaden's definitely always been a guy that you love out.
Got you.
Didn't take it off him.
I would definitely have to say for Tornado from TPW. He's a new up and comer. Definitely somebody that you have to. And I would definitely have to give it out to Jatari Frost, because I mean Petrov mostly trained him, but I helped or had a hand in helping him move along. I've known him for since he was mopping floors as a 14-year-old kid. So he's always been really trying to get up there and move it on. So I would definitely Jatari Frost, don't sleep on. He's definitely a big dude and he won't let you down.
Gotcha.
And who else I would say that needs to be looked at this days? That's it. Definitely, I would definitely say Deontay Teen Ford. Definitely, I've known him for since he's been training for like the last 7 years. He's definitely starting to move up. Troy Prescott, if you're looking for a guy that could get people to hate, that guy, yeah, he did that to me. I hate him. That guy, definitely, and stuff. But yeah, those people right there. I mean, definitely, don't definitely not to sleep on them. They definitely know what they're doing.
Got ya.
Unfortunately, back at the end of the day, I didn't have anybody doing that for me. Of course, back in the day, we didn't have much of a social media.
That is true.
That's why it irritates me sometimes when I see how the rookies all like, oh, this and all that. I'm like, you don't know what I was like when I got into the business.
Okay, so
I know I have a pretty solid card being going on at like all BCW, like CPW happened on Strawberry Fest. I know BCW in July is got like everywhere, Salem, Eugene. I mean, we got some freaking shows coming up.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
and I'll be facing, like I said, the Rat Team, and I think I'll be facing Draven and stuff. Chris Marks from Washington. So I mean, I got a few opponents up my sleeve. So like I said, I mean, right now I'm focusing on trying to do some Chino stuff going on. But if tag team opportunity happens, me and my brother will be there too. But
So let's see here. Hold on, I'm trying to. Wrong one. So many tabs open.
See, I used to do that. I did this with Sign Die on Turn by the Turmoil, so I know how it feels.
Guy's a great. He's a great guy. We were on Turnbuckle Turmoil too, so.
Yeah, I co-host with him every once in a while, so I know how it is trying to figure out questions and trying to,
So I know Nathan asked a question earlier, but I'm going to put a little twist to it. So, if you had a dream opponent as a tag team, who would it be?
if I had to team up with somebody,
Mm-hmm.
um, if I got a tag team, it would be cool to do like maybe me and Hillbilly Jim, or but I've always thought it'd be awesome to do like a 6-man tag, like me and the Godwins versus freaking yeah.
That would be pretty cool.
I named my finisher after theirs. I mean, mine's different, but I call it the slop chop, just like yeah.
Yeah, and I don't think the Godwins got as much respected, like at least in the WWF as they should have. I mean, they held the belts, but
Yes, definitely should have done more. I mean, even Hillbilly Jim. I mean, but to me, like I said, they were more on characters. Like a lot of people nowadays, like now that you look on wrestling, and it's just everybody's all muscled up and in tights. I
yeah,
mean, whatever happened about being your own person? What happened to having characters? You know, I mean, like George the Animal Steel, the guy like to eat turnbuckles, or
Mm-hmm.
or Ultimate Warrior that like to be all pumped up on steroids, whatever. I mean, it's whatever happened, like the Undertaker, the scary stuff. It's like everybody. It just seems like everybody's just the same now. Everybody's got a
yeah,
super kick. Everybody's got this. Everybody's got it just. I mean, yeah, I'm gonna whine all the time because I'm old school, and to me, that you get dropped on your head, you stay down.
right. What is the scariest injury you've ever gotten or seen?
The messed up part about it, I really never. I got injured once in training, and stuff. I mean, I continued on, but the pad split open or whatever, and I ended up taking a move and splitting my knee. But
Ooh,
I really actually never got seriously injured. There was one time I went for a dive, and I should have been like gone because I went and my feet hit the ropes, and all I remember is going down and rolling and hitting the concrete. So I should have been, but I did not get hurt. It was weird.
ouch.
But I mean, everybody else thought I was dead. I mean, I went and yeah, I was
Man, her co-host could have attested to that one too.
like.
Yes. Oh,
I Sindai was there. He was trying to call the match at the time. At this time, Jatari Frost was a 14-year-old kid refereeing the match, and he didn't know better. And I told him I shouldn't have. That was my bad being a vet. But I told him, "Don't worry, I'm good. I got this. This and that." But I probably should have called it because it was it should have been bad. And signed I tried to, and I ignored the situation. So yeah, don't be like me. I was stupid. I should have,
yeah, our co-host was in a match in California, and he with a former I guess he still wrestles in Portland sometimes. Portland wrestling superstar Mikey O'Shea,
Yeah,
and
I should have shut locker room with him a few times. He's an awesome guy.
Mikey moved, and Big Buddy's own guy hit him, and he got launched off the apron and took a face plant right into a steel chair.
Oh yeah, and that's what people don't think, that everybody wants to throw out like the fake word or this and that, but gravity's no joke. So when he got knocked off, I mean he still landed on that chair and he had to take the bump. I mean it still hurt.
Oh,
Oh yeah,
I mean. I've had to take a few of those. I mean, I've wrestled in NWP. They freaking stacked up a pile. I put like probably 15 chairs in the middle of the ring and then superplexed me off the ropes onto them.
oh,
ouch.
Yeah,
hey,
so yeah, and yeah, trust me, I felt every one of that.
well that's a chiropractor appointment waiting to happen.
Yeah, I was like,
So
Oh,
Before we move on with questions, again, like we said, tomorrow's our big 50th show. And then on Friday, we have 2 shows. One guy you may know. He is our 51st episode, and his name is Mr. T-Rex, a legendary referee.
I've known T Rex pretty much my whole career.
He's from my understanding, he's a legendary referee about to ref his what is it, 1500 match or something like that?
Yeah, 1500.
He's almost got 1500 matches refereed.
Yeah, I mean, he was trained by Sandy Barr. I mean, he went and done some stuff, and so he's refed a lot of my matches. A few of our matches been like a little bit of progression or whatever on them, but it says that I think that he got a little bit slower the older he got, but he's always been good and.
I'm gonna have to bring that up on Friday then.
Doesn't that happen? Doesn't that happen a lot though? When we get older, we get slower in our old age.
We do,
Well, except for me.
Well, I mean, we did slower, but I mean, I don't want to do it because I don't want people to think that like because of him. But when you start to tap the 3 with your foot, it starts to feel like what you can't even get down there. I mean, I love the guy, but still.
I remember that one.
So being the heel that I am, has he ever just counted 2 on you and just held it there?
That just put me in a tight spot. There was a match that me and him had issues with because his disability or whatever. He went for the count, and I counted, and when he counted, I heard 2, and I checked out. He told me he counted 3 and called the match. The match was like barely 5 minutes in.
Oh,
and he freaking counted me out and this and that, whatever. I was a little bit mad, so I went in the bathroom like what the hell type thing, and then he got mad because he told me well I was blown up. And,
okay.
and I was a little irritated because I'm like, so you called my match early because you were tired.
Wow.
Okay, note to self. I'm gonna have to bring up the counting with your foot on Friday. That's just too funny.
I wouldn't.
He says the reason why he did that because Sandy Barr did that. Like I said, Sandy Barr started doing that when he started getting old in the 70s and this and that. But still, when you're a referee, it just nobody sees you tapping your foot.
Well, I mean, how do you know he's counting 1, 2, 3 and his foot didn't fall asleep?
That's yeah. I mean, he's not even down by his shoulder to even know if the guy even kicked out enough to even move.
All right, let's stop dogging on referees.
But I love the guy. I've known him for 20 years. I love the guy. I mean, he's great. But I'm just saying, that he should be able to win.
Without referees, we wouldn't have wrestling. So
yes, that's it. I mean, but like I said, he never used to do that. I mean, he used to slide down, do it, and like I said, the older you got, but tapping with his foot, like what, really?
And to be fair, we don't know if he was counting or if he was trying to start a dancing career.
I mean, it could be. I mean, maybe.
Be nice, Nathan. Remember, he already has heat with you.
Yeah.
I know. What's he gonna do? I'm already in a bed. I'm already disabled in a bed. What's he gonna do to me, really?
I mean, be nice to him. Okay. Do you have a question, Nathan?
So if you could book one match as a promoter, what would it be? Who would be in it, and who would you put over?
This is the messed up about that is that I did that option in the WWE video games, and I still don't even play those then. I don't know. Well, I've always seen myself as a wrestler. I've never seen myself once I'm done wrestling.
Got you.
It doesn't matter. I'm gonna be like Ric Flair, 70 years old. You just freaking pop my heart, give me freaking convulsions, whatever. Start whatever, and I'll be right back in there.
Oh, I thought you meant you were gonna wrestle till you were 70 and do a car shield commercial.
Maybe you never. Yeah. I'm gonna hit the Guinness Book of World Record. Be like 90 years and still in a leotard and wrestling. Then they'll be like, is that Skeletor?
Have your nurse at 90 be your manager. Be like, is that your manager? No, she's just here to give me my meds. I'll be right back.
They're all like, your valet is cute. You leave my great granddaughter alone.
All right, Tony, you're up.
Hold on, Nate. Sorry, I'm booking and everything too. So, let's see here. So you did the match thing. Let's see here. Well, you're an old school guy, so let me ask this question: where were you, or what were your thoughts when you heard the passing of the now late Jay Briscoe?
The messed up is I've always watched him this and that Ring of Honor or whatever. But the first reaction I thought when I saw it was he was my age. And I mean, I don't know if that sounds selfish or this and that, but I'm saying, man, he was my age. Anything could happen, and stuff. But and then to find out that he was in the car with his family and stuff, and kids were involved. I'm like, oh, that just.
Yeah, that hit home to me too.
Yeah, and that's not selfish at all because I thought the same thing. Was damn, he was close to my age, man.
It's just one of those things. When you sit there and see somebody pass on, like Jerry Springer, and they're 79 or this and that, like, okay, I mean, he lived, this and that, but then you sit there and you're like, well, God, I'm a year older than him, and he's,
Yeah.
He's 13. I'm like,
yeah, pretty scary. Okay, Nate.
So what mark would you like to leave on the wrestling business?
Like I said, I mean, my time's already gone, so I'm never gonna make it big or anywhere. But anything, I've always wanted to be. I want to be at least be able to be known as I was that guy that was entertaining. When he just says Moonshine Judge, he's an animal. I mean, I want to be. And so far it's been like even my music. I mean, when my music comes out, people know that that's me. I start going to my Moonshine Judge. I mean, I swear my Moonshine Judge just cheered more than I do. I mean, I feel like I'm my Moonshine Judge sidekick.
It does get a pretty good cheering section, that's for sure.
I mean, sometimes I feel like I feel like my Moonshine Judge should be doing the autographs, not me.
So if your Moonshine Jug did the autographs, would it just be the 3 X's?
Probably.
Yeah.
Hey, here's a thought. New merchandise idea. Moonshine. Little moonshine jugs or
Yeah, like
Start,
little miniature ones.
start offering autograph pictures of the Moonshine Jug. Get your picture taken with the Moonshine Jug, and he will sign it for you.
Or better yet, when you finally beat Chris Marks for the belt, just put the moonshine jug over his chest and declare the moonshine jug the champion.
Chris Marks, that guy, he grinds my gears. He thinks he's so better and stuff, and that belt that he held before he became the longest reigning champion, I held, and I was the longest reigning one. And now I'm holding a bigger and better belt than he is, and now he's jealous. Telling you, only reason why he has my title is because he wants to be me.
Oh, this is gonna be some good matches between those two.
well, wasn't he talking smack on the media scrum anyway?
I was just gonna say that he was cutting some nasty promos on you on our last media scrum.
He was, and he probably has a lot. He's just mad because I know where he came from, and he's just jealous. He just wants to be me. That's why he hides his face under that mask. His, he's just mad because his mama doesn't even like him.
Oh,
Oh.
oh,
Oh.
oh. Ooh. I was gonna say we could tell him whatever is said when we go do the media scrum on Saturday, but I
You,
don't know if I want to say that one.
you to tell him
No.
anything
We
I
won't
know.
say that one.
You just say this is a message from that hillbilly. I don't care, but yes. His mom tied a T-bone stake around his neck so the dog would play with him.
Woo! Woo!
Woo! Hi.
Well,
Uh,
this is going to be a very interesting week, Mr. Noss. Well, now, speaking of CPW, what is it like wrestling in a theater type match instead of a wrestling type match?
I feel like my arsenal is a little bit, I can't do as much as I would like to do. I'm a drunk hillbilly. I like to fly around a little bit sometimes and get a little bit rambunctious, and sometimes I feel like that there's too many people in closed areas, and yeah, I don't want to. But I started wrestling in a bar like that, and I don't know. I feel like that I would rather do a ring show, but hey, entertaining fans is what I do. So
so I have to ask this question. In a hardcore match, have you ever hit anybody with the moonshine jug?
yes, I've hit somebody with it, and actually, I hit Troy Prescott with it in a lumberjack match. I did, and then like that, and I would have got the 1, 2, 3 if it wasn't for that. Cosmo put his foot up on the ropes and not the rope break, and I lost because of that. But yeah, I hit him with it. But I've also broken it. I've had it thrown at me and hit the floor too, so it's not. I said Don probably threw maybe probably 5 moonshine jugs in my food career.
Very cool.
I try to learn to keep backup ones now. It's funny too because now I have fans that show up at the shows and bring me moonshine judges. Like, here, I saw this and I thought of you. I'm like, oh, thank you.
That's
So
awesome.
Moonshine 1, Moonshine 2, Moonshine 3, Moonshine 4.
You just
I,
start giving them names.
I've gone all the way up to Everett, Washington to do wrestle for Timber Pro for like the first time. And when I got there, there was like a whole row of fans that had homemade moonshine jugs they made out of milk cartons. And stuff like that, and literally painted them up and everything. I mean, people thought I was selling them. I'm like, no. I mean, apparently, they just happened to show up and stuff. I'm like, oh, okay, cool.
Wow. All right, Nathan, go ahead.
Have you or would you ever get hit by a kendo stick by Yvonne?
She's my sister. She's hit me worse. she she don't care. She's married to my brother. She'll swing for the fences.
Gotcha.
That's not like a really a fair question.
Well, to be fair, Nathan's not really the sharpest tool in the shed either.
Well, that is true. I agreed to let her hit me with a kendo stick. So
And she will. And tennis sticks are not fun. They,
you
they,
only live once.
yeah, but I got hit in the head once by a Kindle stick by Buddy Highway. Went cross-eyed for the whole night.
Wow. So let's see here. Let me go to my questions page again. Let me see if there's anything on here. I'm at the wrong question page.
The worst bump I've ever taken was off of a 20-foot ladder.
Oh.
Ooh. Ouch.
Yeah.
Ooh, ouch.
It kind of sucked too, but I got up there and then I'm like, well, I'm a wrestler. I can't be seen climbing back down. And I'm like, oh, this is high. And then, yeah. But me, yeah, I can't be seen. I'd be like, oh, yeah, that climb back down. Yeah, so, yeah. But, yeah, I took the bump out the 20-foot ladder sucked.
I remember when we did the media scrum, we talked to Princess Deathwish, and he had just had the match with Rashad.
Oh, you know about Princess Deathwish? Yeah,
Yeah.
me and him were way back before Princess Deathwish was even a thing. Me and yeah, we were way back. He's my bro.
Well,
I was there when Princess Deathwish started.
Gotcha. He told us in that bar fight that him and Rashad had that he took a staple gun to the testicles, and I still haven't been able to think about that one.
That's one thing. I mean, I date hardcore a lot, but that's one thing I haven't done yet because I haven't felt like I wanted somebody to staple money to my face.
I can't blame you there.
I see people do. I mean, I turned in tabs. I mean, I've been slammed in the tabs. I've been slammed in the ladders. I've been in. I've turned in it all, but I just cannot see it as stapling. They're like, "Oh, you're just fine." I'm like, "You're stapling to my forehead." Like,
I mean, I've heard about being paid for a show, but that's a little ridiculous.
Yeah, but I don't get my tips that way.
So before Nathan asks the next question, you know, we want to promote what's coming up. So we've got, as we said, tomorrow night's our 50th show, and that's with the Country Gentlemen. On the 26th, we are going to call it 2 count. That's right, 2 count Friday, because as we said before, we have Mr. T-Rex coming on, and then Mr. Reggie Cassidy, another referee following him. Saturday, the only show we actually have is the media scrum. Sunday, we have Scarlet Rose. And on next Tuesday, we have TNT Tyson Lee.
Yep.
And I've been in the ring with that guy, that's for sure. TNT, me and him done rounds so far. I've still beaten him both times, but that guy, he can fight. That's for sure. My face is still healing.
It sounds like it'll be a fun
that
interview.
brainbuster that he does is no joke.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Sounds like it's going to be a great interview. But Nathan, why don't you go ahead and ask one or two more questions?
So, what's your future goals in pro wrestling?
My future goals are pro wrestling. Right now, my future is like very short in wrestling. But I don't know. Right now my goals is I'm kind of old, so I'm just having fun. I'm hoping to maybe maybe at least get the BCW title once before I'm done or whatever, maybe or so. But I'm looking more forward into just helping the new guys move up and get better and do this. Because I mean, I'm lucky if I have another 5 or 6 years left. I mean, I'm getting there. Who knows? I mean, Lone Star is in his 50s and he's still going, so who knows? Maybe I still keep it up. But right
There you
now,
go.
my goal is I want to make sure that when I'm done, that the years that I put in this profession is taken care of by the young guys, and they ain't gonna be freaking put to shit when I leave.
So, speaking of that, and I'm pretty sure you have a very long career left in you, but after you decide to be done, have you ever thought about managing like a hillbilly gym that you said was one of your heroes?
Maybe, I mean, if there's room for me to do something, or or be what was that guy's name? Like JJ off, JJ Walker or whatever, even if I could be one of those guys or something, or not David Walker, Dylan. I don't know why I said Walker. I had the wrong one. Dylan.
All right.
You know
There's
what I
a
mean?
JJ Watt, so it works.
Well, you know what I mean? But yeah. But if I could be something like that, and being a backstage, I really steamboat and give my knowledge to and help young guys and do whatever. I mean, I have no problem. I mean, I've got to the point of helping them as I can now. So.
Go ahead and finish it off, Nate.
Well, we want to thank you for coming on. You're more than welcome to come back on another episode, or even if you want to co-host a couple episodes, you're more than welcome to do that too.
Okay.
We'd love to have you back after you get your baby back from CPW too.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe having do a little update show or something.
Exactly.
There you go.
To see what happened after facing Billy Moon, the Rat King, and Chris Martin and stuff. See if I get my title badge.
Yes.
So,
we would definitely.
It'd be like one of those Steve Wilkos things. The update.
Yes.
there you go.
We would definitely love to do that. So, again, like Nathan said, thank you so much for joining us this evening. It was wonderful. A couple of your answers damn near broke us, but
yeah, that's for sure. I
I
don't think anybody will top those ones.
Let me say that's what I do. I entertain people, and hey, if I got you guys entertaining and laughing and this and that, then I done my job.
Exactly.
Yes, you did.
So, with that being said, hey, I'm in such a good mood because our guest showed up tonight. We've got awesome guests tomorrow night and the rest of the week. So, Mr. Nas, awesome host as usual. Great job. Top-notch guy. I can't dog you tonight. So, without further ado, thank you again, JB, for joining us.
Thank you.
Nathan, great show.
Thank you.
And we'll see you guys tomorrow night for the 50th episode. Until then.
Yes.
Well, thank you guys.
All right.